Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
graduation time.
Hello. Graduation time. And just in case you're wondering, what are we talking about? First of all, greetings to you and you
Hello.
and you and you tuning into Campus Connection this evening on the family station Love 101. I am Jonathan Fletcher, and with me is my co-host.
Anesta Samuels, and I really do hope that you have your crown and your cap because it's time for us to walk across the stage. It's time for us to just put a wrap on this amazing season. We have had some
Amazing indeed.
talented gifted people to come on the show. We've had some people who are just making a significant mark in their industries, and to be a part of that team that helps to showcase the extraordinary talent that's in our nation. I feel like that's a special thing. You know, Jonathan, I feel like that's
Absolutely.
something it's amazing. And so we're getting ready for this particular episode where we will be talking to some graduates, of course, because it's graduation. I mean, it's our final show of the season. So we'll be talking to some people who have overcome the odds, Dr. Cedric Leslie and Mrs. Antonia Leslie. Now, you may or may not remember them from a previous episode, but they have a remarkable story and they are here to share it with us. We also have Mrs. Misha Gay Wright Bernard from the Rural Economic Empowerment Program. She's also a graduate that we will have later on in the show. But before we even get there, guys, we have Education News and Bulletin. We have our I Chose Christ feature. And we also have a special feature where we'll be hearing from a Jamaican born science teacher in the UK. So we'll be hearing a lot more about what it's like teaching in the UK. So quite a bit in store for everyone in this show, Jonathan.
Absolutely. Totally looking forward to interacting with our guests and to you as well, or with you rather, our listeners. So I'm encouraging you, please, guys. This is the last show for this season. Send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. Here we up now. You know, let me know how
Yeah.
you feel about the season and all of these things. Talk to us, man. Comment on the live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica. That's on Facebook, YouTube, or on TikTok. We also want you to answer this question for us. What will you be doing in the summer? What are the pre for the summer? Son, what are you planning to do this summer? We want to hear from you this evening. But we're going to jump straight into things. We're going to have now our education news and bulletin, and this will be done by Camille Lawrence, our campus consultant.
Education news and bulletins for Tuesday, July 1, 2025. Jamaica Learning Assistant to come on stream September. The Jamaica Learning Assistant JLA, an artificial intelligence generated platform, is slated to come on stream in September of this year. Education, Youth, Skills and Information Minister, Senator Dr. the Honorable Dana Morris Dixon, made the disclosure at the eLearning Jamaica's 20th anniversary gala and award ceremony on June 20 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. The JLA will provide each child with access to 24/7 personalized learning at their own pace. The JLA will adapt lessons to each student's unique learning style. This may include AI-generated animated story-based visuals, interactive questions and answers, quizzes, or by conversing with a human-like AI tutor. Dr. Morris Dixon said AI is a catalyst for personalizing learning, supporting teachers, and closing persistent gaps in education and opportunity. She mentioned the government has already taken steps to introduce a national AI lab, which will be at the University of Technology, the first of its kind in Jamaica. Dr. Morris Dixon said the ministry's partnership with eLearning Jamaica and Universal Service Fund USF is critical to these initiatives. Graduates charged to leverage technology to create innovative solutions. Education, Skills, Youth and Information Minister, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, has charged the San Diego High School 2025 graduating class to leverage technologies to solve complex problems and create new products and services. She noted that the technological revolution is being driven by rapid advancements in fields such as artificial intelligence, AI, blockchain, and Internet of Things, IoT, creating new opportunities for innovation, entrepreneurship, and social impact. The Education Minister noted that the government, through the Hart NSDA Trust, is equipping students with skills required for the jobs of the future. She cited the establishment of the National AI Laboratory at the University of Technology, Jamaica. The facility will serve as a national resource hub for training, research, and development of AI-based curricula. Young people looking to start technology-related businesses are also empowered. As of April 2025, Hart NSDA Trust graduates in Level 4 Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM-related courses are eligible for a grant of up to 300,000 Jamaican dollars to purchase specialized tools or software to kickstart their businesses. The grants are provided under the Building Opportunities for Outstanding STEM Talent Program, BOOST. Morris Dixon hailed the St. Jago High School 2025 graduating class for completing an important milestone and urged them to maintain the values and principles that have brought them to their current point. National Summer Academy begins July 7. The National Summer Academy, NSA 2025, hosted by the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, will get underway on July 7 and run until July 24. Under the theme, Every Learner, Every Level, Targeting Strategies for System-Wide Success, the initiative aims to address learning gaps in literacy and numeracy among primary and secondary students, fostering educational transformation for national development. All grades at the primary level and grades 7 to 9 at the secondary level will be part of this year's NSA. The ministry in a bulletin said that the NSA forms part of the ongoing learning recovery strategy and will target students from grades 1 through 9, with a particular focus on those requiring additional academic support. The program promotes active engagement through problem solving and critical thinking using 3 modalities: virtual, in-person, and blended formats. The ministry is inviting all educational institutions to participate actively in NSA 2025, working together to create a robust support network that enhances student achievement and success. And now for the bulletins. Get ready for an unforgettable summer experience. ISCF presents Discipleship Camp, August 9 to 14, 2025 at Moorlands Camp, Manchester. Camp cost is 22,000 Jamaican dollars. Save the date. Registration open soon. And as you know, schools are out and children are home, so here are some fun and engaging summer activities or ideas for both the children and the entire family. School's out, so summer school and other programs are in. They are children-focused, so it's fun, engaging, and educational. Next on our list, VBS or discipleship camps. Don't forget to register your children for this fun-filled time in the Lord. Next up, family picnics or trips. Trips to the park, food festivals or expos, or even a relaxing day at the beach. And some family bonding activities: build a Lego castle or jigsaw puzzles. Clear the table and make it a family project. Work on it all summer. A very engaging activity for the entire family. Camp in or build a fort with the children. Use your sheets or blankets. Put the sleeping bags on the floor and have a family slumber party. Marshmallows and cookies and even popcorn. Have breakfast in bed. Take turns being the server and being served. Have their favorite breakfast items on the menu. Next up, make paper airplanes. I know my 5-year-old will love this one. See whose airplane goes the farthest and make it exciting. Use colorful paper and let them draw their own designs on it. And last but certainly not least, make a time capsule. Have each family member write down something they are grateful for and include a special item in the time capsule. Then store it away until a designated date. These are just a few family fun ideas for the summer from your Campus Connection family. I am Camille Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Camille, for our education news and bulletin. We're going now to our very, very special presentation of I Chose Christ. It's our last one for the season. Guys, I'm going to be emotional all episode, okay? So please bear with me.
Bear with
Um,
me as well as I bear with her.
yeah, because it's bittersweet. I feel like, yeah. Anyways, I chose Christ while I dry my tears. Will be brought to us by Lamisha Cohen of Excelsior High School. Listen in and be blessed.
Kingdom blessings, everyone. My name is Lamisha, and I am currently a fifth form high school student. And my testimony today to share is that I can remember when I was so sick last year, the first part, about March. I was just fainting each moment as I went to church. I was fainting anywhere. I was just fainting. And I didn't know the exact reason why. But, it caused me to just fall behind in my studies. Like, I could not reach the level where other students were because I kept having to stay from school. Praise the name of the Lord. And, when I look into it, it's like the scripture that always comes to me is Psalms 46, verses 10. Be still and know that I am God, and I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. It just teaches me that that God is still with me. Even when I think that I'm losing, even when I think that I'm going behind, He is still there saying, trust me. Praise the name of the Lord. And this year when I look into it and I am approved for my graduation, I am currently proceeding a total of 11 subjects. Praise the name of the Lord. I achieved so much during this year. Praise God, leaving school. And I am so glad that the Lord brought me from such a long, mighty way. Praise the name of the Lord, and I'm currently still shining. So this is just a testimony that no matter where you are, don't look at the situation, just look at the future, because God has it in His hands. I choose Christ, and you should do too. God bless you all.
All right, that one was definitely a touching one. I'm not going to lie
Right.
at all. Yeah, that's a million. Lamisha Cohen from Excelsior High School sharing how the Lord has literally brought her through. Wow, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy that God is still doing God things.
Yeah.
God alone can do them things there, you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Absolutely.
right.
I think we have a special guest with us, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Akila Campbell, and she is a Jamaican born science teacher, but she's teaching in the UK. And I believe she's here to tell us a little bit more about what that's like. But first, we're going to a break. Oh, we are going to a break, guys. But in the meanwhile, as we go to this break, I want you all to reach out to us in the comment section. It's our last show of the season. I feel like you can give a shout out. Shout out somebody, even if it's just us. I mean, we'd be
Mm-hmm.
perfectly okay with that. But you can shout out other people too. But yes, it's our last show of the season. So give your shout outs, give your thank you so much, Hugh. I see Hugh in the comments, and I'm sure so many of you are getting ready to come on, because you want to give your shout out. So please do that, and we will acknowledge them right after these messages. Stay with us on Campus Connection.
The time that Grace could move is
5:45.
Dunamis
International Gospel Center presents National Revival Crusade Impact Jamaica with guest speakers Dr. Paul and Dr. Becky Aneche, among other dynamic ministers of the gospel, at the National Indoors Sports Center, Kingston, on July 1 and 2, beginning at 6:30 p.m., and a day session on July 2 at WAFIF, 55 Old Harbor Road, Spanish Town, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Gospel music sensation Kevin Downswell and Gotti Gotti will be a part of this worship experience. Admission free.
Family Tree Hardware. With the lowest price and the best quality, we care. We are helping to build Jamaica a place to live. At Family Tree. Tree. Call us at 668-3341. At Family Tree. Tree. Family Tree Hardware. Lot 7 Elshire Main Road, Brayton, St. Catherine.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price.
All right. Welcome back to Campus Connection. It is campus graduation, our final show for the season. I'm not even entirely sure what season we are now. I should do some research on that. But yeah, it's it's a final show for this season. And so we're having a grand time, and we are looking forward to sharing the rest of the evening with you. Right about now, we're going into our special feature with Miss Akila Campbell, Jamaican-born science teacher in London.
All right, so hi, my name is Akila Campbell. I'm going to be sharing with you today my experience living abroad, specifically living in the UK. So I'm going to break down why I moved to the UK. I'm going to also talk about some of the benefits and the challenges of living in a new country. I'm going to talk about how God has helped me to navigate a new country. And I'm going to talk about the things that I miss about my beautiful homeland of Jamaica. Now, why did I move to the UK? So I got an opportunity to work as a science teacher in the UK. I got that job through an agency, a teaching agency called Point to Point Education, and I was placed at a school called Gateway Academy in Essex. Now, I then transcended to a different school. I moved to London, and I now currently work at a Catholic high school. Now, I really like working at a Catholic high school because of the religious aspect of it. The Catholic schools, they have their assemblies here still. They still do their worship assemblies, and they still keep God in the center of everything that they do here. So I appreciated that, and hence the reason why I moved from that school to this school. Now, what are the benefits now and the challenges of living in the in a new country and living in the UK specifically? Now, the benefits of living in the UK is separate and apart from the resources. We know that a bigger country and a more economically stable country like UK will have more resources. So definitely that was a plus. But with the resources comes the bills. So like rent can be quite expensive in London. So the bills and the salary, they do match. And what you'll find is that the same problems that you experience in Jamaica, if you don't handle your money well, you'll experience that here too. So it's not necessarily about just the resources, but what I mainly like is the fact that I was introduced to different cultures. I really like that I'm introduced to different foods. I've met different people from all over the world. They have shared their experiences with me, and I've realized that as humans, we are very, very similar, and we share very similar values. So that's what I like about the UK the most, the fact that I can experience different cultures. With that being said, UK is close to a lot of different countries, which I can actually take the train to some of these countries. Like for instance, France. I've been to France before. You can take the train from London, St. Pancras to the Netherlands. You can take it to Belgium. So you have the opportunity to travel outside of England. You can go take the train to Scotland. So there's so much different things to see here, and I really like that. And as a result of living here, I've traveled to France, Portugal, Lisbon. I've traveled to Madeira. I've traveled to Mallorca, which is it's quite easier to get to those countries living closer to them. And I don't believe that living in Jamaica would have made it that easy for me to go. Of course, we could go, but it would be much more expensive and more difficult. The flight times would be longer. So I know many Jamaicans travel to Europe all the time, but I know that it is much harder for Jamaicans to leave Jamaica and go to different European countries because of the cost and the length of time, the traveling time that it will take. So I appreciate living in the UK for those benefits. I appreciate the healthcare system here, the NHS, and I also appreciate the different, as I said, resources that I have been blessed with. Now, how has God helped me to navigate this new country? So, moving to a new country and not having a lot of family members in that new country can be very, very isolated. You can feel quite alone sometimes, and you do need the strength of God to help you to go through those lonely times, especially during COVID. During COVID was a tough time. A lot of places were basically shut down and closed down. You couldn't go many places, so you had to stay in the confinement of your home. So that really caused a lot of stress on myself. But I was praying to God and I was praying for my family. And luckily, during the COVID period, I didn't lose any family members. And the Lord has also comforted me as well during difficult times, especially during periods of isolation. So I feel God has helped me with that. He has helped me to gain information from other people. He has showed me how to be bold and to stand up for what I believe in without fearing persecution. He showed me how to express myself in such a way that people can be understanding and not hurt anyone at the same time. So basically phrasing words in such a way that I'm not causing any harm to anybody. So I think God has helped me with that because people are from different places and they will have different views on certain things. So I believe God has helped me to express myself in such a way that it is acceptable to everybody and quite inclusive to everyone as well. Now, what do I miss about Jamaica? I miss Jamaica um, quite a lot, especially during the winter months. The winter here can be quite cold. It can get quite dark pretty early. So what will happen is that at about, say, 3:30 it is dark, and by 4 o'clock it's very, very dark. So you find yourself being very tired during the winter months, and you find it the sunshine that we have in Jamaica, we really underestimate it because it really brightens up the mood and it lifts the spirit. A lot of people can sometimes feel like depressed during the winter periods because of the weather pattern. So I really miss Jamaica for that. I really love the weather patterns in Jamaica. I never knew anything about the low moods until I came to this country because of the darkness and the coldness and the gray skies really can affect the mood of any individual. So I miss Jamaica for that. I miss the fact that I can go to the jelly man and get coconut jelly and get fresh fruits from the fruits man. I really miss those things about Jamaica. Getting tropical fruits like pineapple and banana, food that is not genetically modified. I really miss that about my country. Getting things like breadfruit, fried breadfruit, and nice fresh callaloo, and not eating that out of a tin. Oh, those are the things that I miss about Jamaica. But I have visited Jamaica since my time here. I've been here roughly for 6 years. So I visited Jamaica at least 3 times within the time that I'm here. So I do go back quite often. But there's certain the vibe of Jamaica and the people, how real our people are. I really miss that about my country. Now, um, there's nothing else that I there's nothing else I can think of at the moment, but these are the things that I enjoy. Patty, I miss a good tasty patty. That's my favorite. I'm not really a juicy fan, but people like juicy, but I like tasties. I miss a nice tasty patty. I miss seeing like even some of my very close friends. I know I could have very real conversations with some of my close friends. So I miss things like that, you know. There's a lot I could tell you, but I have to wrap it up now. And I hope that you have been blessed with some of the things that I have shared with you. Thanks for listening and have a good day, afternoon, or morning, whatever time it is.
So much to pick out of that wonderful presentation by Miss Akila Campbell, Jamaican born science teacher in London, sharing some of the things that she truly misses about Jamaica, but some of the things that she would have experienced whilst being a teacher in London for the past 6 years. Can you imagine being away from your home country for 6 years? That is really something else.
Yeah, and I I know what some of the things that she was saying that Jamaicans take for granted. I can definitely
Mm-hmm.
relate. Oh my goodness, the
Yeah.
patties and the coconut gel. I mean, it's the list goes on and on. But you know what though? I feel like shows like Campus Connection and even just where technology is now is one of the greatest at maintaining that connection with our homeland and just with people that we know and love, you know? So, speaking of connection, Jonathan, we have some people who are giving their shout outs, and we just want to acknowledge them: Nicole, Sonia, Alvarine, Valerie. Hello, hello, hello to you all. Thank you so much for coming in the comment section. Just a reminder, everyone, we are live on
Yeah,
Facebook,
yeah.
on YouTube, on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And our question to you is, what are you doing for the summer? Do you have any summer plans? Are you going on vacation? Are you going to visit a family member, a friend in some other part of the country or the world? What are you doing this summer? Are you going to the beach? Tell us what your plans are. And without further ado, we are going to introduce our graduates who, I mean, need no introduction, but
None at
let's
all.
go ahead. I'm telling you, we have Dr. Cedric Leslie and Mrs. Antonia Leslie. So,
Full
husband and
time.
wife power couple
Ready.
who are recent graduates of the Ohio State University.
Hmm?
No stranger to the program, but certainly we're happy to have them back with us. And we also have Mrs. Misha Gay Wright Bernard, who is a Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program graduate. And I'm excited to hear more about that because I feel like not much not much is highlighted in terms of what or youth are doing concerning economic empowerment. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested to know what her program was like. So, yeah, we have quite a bit in store for you. And we are going to jump to a quick break. But when we return, we get into our discussion. Stay with us.
I'm Itana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call 1-888-PROTECT to report suspected cases of child trafficking.
The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6 o'clock.
This Emancipation Day, experience a night of powerful praise and purpose. CC Winans brings her More Than This tour to Jamaica with Chevelle Franklin, Kevin Downswell, Prince Saj, John Mark Wigan, hosted by IT Ellis and Nadine Blair. Gates open 2 p.m., showtime 5 p.m. Tickets at select outlets island-wide or online at spuropen.com. Follow at More Than This Jamaica on Instagram for updates. CC Winans, More Than This concert with a cause. Friday, August 1, Kings House East, Lawns.
Remix the summer with Digicel. 100 lucky winners win $100,000 each, plus surprises all summer. To enter, buy a SIM, 7-day plan or higher. Switch to Digicel. Be an active postpaid or Digicel Plus customer, or receive US $15 or more from abroad. Gift a friend a plan. They could win $25,000. Remix the summer with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promo ends September 15, 2025. Conditions apply. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for more info. Digicel, better connected this summer.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, you are late for graduation because it's campus graduation or final show for the season. And joining us inside the show this evening, we have Dr. Cedric Leslie and Mrs. Antonia Leslie, recent graduates from the Ohio State University, and Mrs. Misha Gay Wright Bernard, Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program graduate. So, we have not so much time and we have a lot to unpack because it's the last show for the season. So let's try to work it as best as possible. All right, let's start with the Leslies. Dr. Leslie, you were here with us, I believe, a week before last or something of the sort.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for being here with us. So, question, we don't get to see Mrs. Leslie this evening? No?
Yeah, the baby just woke up. Thank you for having me again.
Oh my.
So she's actually sitting adjacent to me, getting ready
Man.
of the two.
Okay. And just in case you are wondering, yes, they went through studies whilst heavily pregnant, right? Trying to, maneuver, if you will, the space of being pregnant and also Mrs. Leslie completing her studies. So that was a real challenge, but they overcame. Thanks be to God. So is she able to hear me?
She's hearing you.
Okay, lovely. All right. So, Mrs. Leslie, I want you to give the listeners an understanding of what it was like on that bed in the hospital as you prepared to make your exit. What was that like?
So first of all, good evening,
yes,
everyone. What was that like? It was honestly crazy.
Wow, I can imagine.
I had an assignment, so sometimes you make a plan and you try to do some things and it just don't work out. That's what happened with that. Because I had an assignment due that weekend that I planned to do from the week before, but it didn't work out at all. So I'm in the hospital now and I'm like, okay, it's due tomorrow. Let's see how much, if we can get this done and get it sent off tonight. And I did not get past maybe a paragraph. I think I was there and trying to write. It was like a 3-page paper or something like that. And then the pain came on and I was like, okay, this not gonna work again. This will not work at all. And I emailed my lecturer and I told her that I was really trying to submit on time. However, I'm currently in the hospital, so
By the way, wow.
so that's not gonna work again. But I will say that they were really understanding, and they really did accommodate me. So I'm really grateful for that.
And I just want to put in there that this was probably her first time asking for any kind of accommodation. I had to beg her to message the professor, because she's the type of person who just wants to be on time all the time. You know, nothing is late. So throughout pregnancy, that was her. Not asking for any kind of leeway.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow.
I think it takes a certain level of grit to be able to graduate anything. But you guys make it look so easy. You make it look like there have been so challenges. Like how let me pose this question to Mrs. Wright Bernard, because you've dealt in rural youth economic empowerment, and I just wanted to know a little bit more about what your program entailed and how you were able to make it to this point where you're now a graduate. What did you have to overcome?
Right, so good evening. So the READ program that I was a part of, so it pretty much entailed business development training sessions. So most of these were facilitated via online means or face-to-face. It also involved site visits, so to like farms or based on your enterprise. So like in my case, there were site visits to like Ebony Park Heart Academy, College of Agriculture, Science and Education, which I'm also a student currently. I'll be finishing August, and hopefully I'll make the graduation this for November. So it was rigorous, it was intense, but one of the things I was grateful for is that the facilitators, the mentors, they were very understanding, because sometimes you would have things to do, like for example, as a mom, and things just doesn't work out for you to, for example, be a part of a site visit per se or an online training. And if it is that you message these individuals and say to them, I'm unable to join, so they, for example, will direct you to, for example, the recordings for the session. So it's not like you're left behind. It was a very enriching experience and a very empowering one. And I'm also encouraging other youths, wherever these opportunities are created, just to take full advantage of them. So the persons that are putting these things together can feel like their efforts are not in vain.
Wow. There are two things, or a main theme I am experiencing while listening. The understanding lecturers, the understanding teachers. So I just want pause to big up those teachers, those lecturers who learn to give grace, who understand that life is not linear. So things happen from time to time. So big up to all those teachers and those lecturers who give grace where grace is due. Thank you so much for all that you do. But we're talking about graduation and, what really happens after graduation. But let's backtrack a bit, right? For Dr. Leslie and Mrs. Leslie, how did you maintain your social life? Did you maintain your social life? Right?
That is Jonathan, that's one of the things I thought about the most as I prepared for this interview. In my mind, I just recalled how much I said no to several outings and friendships even, where I could have friendships and social groups that could have advanced my time, helped me to advance a lot more in my studies and just in general life. But there was just not enough time for going out to have dinner. And so I said no a whole lot. But then as I thought about those things, I also thought about the people who I was friends with from a long time ago, the people who were there praying for me along the way, along the 4 years. There is a group of young people from my church in Montego Bay, St. James. Once for the last 2 years, we would have been up at midnight praying, just praying into the next day. Those are the people who held me down. And they say seek a friend before you need a friend. For me, that's what that is. The people who, and this is not me being against forming new friendships and maintaining them or anything like that. But once you turn an adult and you start having children, you have a family, you get so little time. And you're doing PhD studies and your wife is also doing graduate studies. You really don't get the time to invest in friendships as you would do as a child. You're not playing at the park with anybody. You're not, you don't have the time. You just don't have the time. So it's not you not wanting a social life. It's just that it's very difficult. And so that was a challenge for me. And my wife can tell you how much more of a challenge it was for her because she, of the two of us, she is the introvert.
Wow.
I think if I were to add anything to that, though, I feel like where we did have some amount of social activity, it was probably like inviting someone over to our home to share a meal, or probably going out with another family. So it was anything that was probably like family centered, where we could, the people who would understand that, hey, like, we can't just get up and go at any time, but it takes some amount of planning and coordinating and that kind of thing. Those were probably not a whole lot, but
as well as canceling several times before it did happen.
Yeah.
Yes. And I must put in that we found a very loving church that is a part of our, the denomination that we are from back home, New Testament Church of God. It's a Church of God in the US. And I can tell you that the moment that we walked into that church, the moment that we, came to the end of our first service, we knew that the Lord wanted us to be there for a reason. We felt the love. It's a multi-ethnic church. So you have white people, all sort of, people from all sorts of cultures and so forth. But we just felt loved. We felt like it was home, and we have made that our church for the last 3 years. We've been serving in our church, and that's a big part of our social life.
So far we've spoken a lot about the people who have supported us, and I feel like it's important to highlight those people, and I think it's equally important to highlight the people who motivate us, the people that we're doing this for. And our producer brought to my attention a picture of you in the Star, Mrs. Wright Bernard, in the Star newspaper. And this, you're gonna have to explain. I mean, you really are gonna have to explain this. So we see your son, and he's 3 years old, correct? And
yes, he is.
Sitting on your lap at your graduation ceremony. So tell us a little bit more about is he your why? Is he your reason for seeing things through? Why is he there at your graduation ceremony?
All right. So I am a person who is not afraid to tap into my community, but there are times when you don't want to overdo things because you have to be sensitive to the fact that persons have things to do as well, and you don't want to be always calling on them even when you don't have to. So what I would have done, I would have asked, and persons wouldn't have been available. They would have been available to assist, but based on the date of the graduation, nobody was available. So I would have reached out to the coordinators, which would be the 4H. So, and they would have given me the permission to take him to the graduation. However, I was a bit worried though, because here he doesn't like to be confined So I was a bit worried, but the 4-8 representative that I actually went to the graduation with, she was so kind enough to give an eye every now and again on him, and also the manager, Miss Mackenzie. So Miss Mackenzie, if you're listening, as well as the other manager, I am very grateful that I was given the opportunity to take him, because I was even contemplating not going if I didn't get the approval to take him. So I am very grateful that that was facilitated for me to actually take him to the graduation.
Right. And I think it's remarkable that you have been able to, care for your 3-year-old son all while studying. And this is not an easy course. This is not an easy program you can just waltz through. And so just if you would give a word of encouragement to those who might be trying to balance family life with their studies, like what would you say to encourage them?
I would say just lean into your community, however, but use wisdom in doing so, because you don't want to become a bother or a burden to persons where you don't have to be. And also just ask God to give you the strength, because at the end of the day, sometimes you get through some situations and you're like, how did I do it? It had to be God, because it couldn't be my community alone. It had to just be how things were supposed to be in His divine will, because that's the only way you can really explain it. Because He will send the persons to assist you, and He will allow your destiny helpers to really locate you, no matter how hidden you may appear to be.
Thank you so much for that. Wow.
I am so marveled at all of you, actually, just pressing through, pushing through, in spite of so many reasons why you should have given up, and you just decide that, hey, we're going to continue regardless. But wait. Wow, so much I want to get into, but we have to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Campus Connection after these messages.
Remix the summer with Digicel. 100 lucky winners win $100,000 each, plus surprises all summer. Gift a friend a plan. They could win $25,000. And the time by Digicel is now 6:16 p.m.
You can see the face, but not the heart. Those who want to do you wrong. So many times.
Bless up. This is Christopher Martin. Human trafficking is a crime. Let's unite to end human trafficking. Be wise, open your eyes. Spot them, stop them, and report them.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
No shadow at the dark. No shadow at the dark.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strapped up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just now joining us, we only have a few minutes left before the graduation ceremony is officially over. That's right. It's our last episode of the season. And we're kind of sad, but we are excited that we get a chance to rest and recoup and come back even stronger for another season. So we've been talking with some guests here who are graduates themselves, Mrs. Misha Gay Wright Bernard and Dr. Cedric Leslie and Mrs. Antonia Leslie. Now, just before the break, I did ask a question, and I wanted to pose it to Mrs. Leslie as well, in terms of what words of encouragement would you give to someone in terms of balancing family life with their studies? How were you able to strike that balance to get to where you are now, being a graduate, having a master's, and what would you say to those who are looking to do the same?
I think I do agree with what Mrs. Wright Bernard said, that, leaning on your community and leaning on community that you have around you is very important. I think for us, it took us a while to kind of build up that community. So that was kind of slow for us. But when we were able to do it, it was definitely very beneficial and very helpful. So yes, lean on your community. Continue to trust in God and put the whole process before God, trusting that He's gonna work it out and He's gonna make a way, because He made ways for us, like things that we didn't see how it was gonna work out, and God just came in and showed up. So, like, just continue, lean on your community, continue trusting in God. Don't put Him aside or anything like that. And then understand too that there are certain like things that you probably used to be able to do before, like even if you had a vibrant social life, you might have to take a step back, and just understand that this is just a season that you are going through. You might have to put some things on halt until the season is over, and you shouldn't feel like less about yourself or anything like that. But if that happens, but just keep pushing, knowing that it's for a season. You're gonna get through it. It's gonna pass.
It's for a season. Wow, wow. That is absolutely correct. And Mrs. Wright Bernard, when you look back on what would have taken place, even your graduation, sitting in that auditorium with your son on your lap, can you describe the feeling you felt when you sat there, when you said, boy, I'm going to do it? What was that feeling like?
I can't really explain it, but it was just like just a big amount of joy that you can't really explain, but you just have to bask in it and just hope that it can just be an inspiration to somebody else, to just know that no matter how it seems like there's no end or you can't see a way out, just continue pressing, because at the end of the day, He's carrying you. He will never leave you. He even said it in His words.
That's awesome. And I feel like something that's so important too is just knowing how to, like you said earlier, depend on God in those times where you just feel like you couldn't have gone anymore. When you look back and you see that, wow, I did it, that God was the one who brought you through it. So here's my final question to you all. If you were to thank anyone for your success thus far, I know you mentioned all glory to God, who is the head of your life. But who is it that you would like to thank for your success? And let me start with Dr. Leslie and Mrs. Leslie, and then of course Mrs. Wright Bernard, you can chime in.
So family, of course, our parents back in Jamaica. My parents, Miss Annette and Mr. Tony, my in-laws, Miss Pam and Mr. Earl. Our siblings were also a huge support to us. I don't know if we have time to name out all of them, but our siblings were,
siblings, yeah.
I think, because I think in Jamaica, churches, Cedric's prayer group. I also was a part of two different prayer groups who I was really, really grateful for. We were both a part of the prayer groups. And then, like, I think here, our upstairs neighbor, who was a great support for us at times. Like, we could leave our older daughter with her when we needed to rush out last minute. So that was amazing. They came in the last 2 years, so it was late when they were here. And our friends that we met here for sure, and our friends from Jamaica, like trying to,
For me, Antonia has named out the main people, so the friends and the family. I want to recognize Mr. Phil Foyle. Phil Fell. He became my mentor in my second year of the program. Now he leads one of the spiritual groups for international students on campus. And I find myself a part of anything that has to do with Christianity, a sound group. And that's what that was, how I became connected to them. So I knew of them before my second year, but I did become connected to Phil, who is the area leader for all of the universities in Ohio. that branch of that Christian ministry for international students. My Sunday school teacher in Jamaica, we were doing online church throughout first year, and my Sunday school teacher, Dr. Felicia Gray, I asked her to be my mentor, and she referred me to this gentleman who she met during her Fulbright days as a PhD student here in the US. And let me tell you something. God does not want us to walk through this life alone. He wants to hold our hands. There are Aaron's to hold up Moses' hands. And we have to find those people. And I'm so happy that Dr. Gray introduced me to Phil, because there were some seasons that were very cold and, hard to walk through. They felt like the winter seasons of the PhD program. But I would meet Phil. He would make time to meet with me and talk with me. He understood what family life and ministry and everything, all of the things that were important to me. He understood them, and he could talk to me, he could listen to me talk for a whole hour and give me, godly counsel. And I felt like that was one of the most important parts of my journey. And I truly big him up, along with all of the family, all of the friends, everybody Antonia mentioned before. Love you.
Wow. Mrs. Wright Bernard, your time.
Okay, so first and foremost, I would want to say a big thank you to my husband, Anthony Bernard, my mom, Claudette Davidson Wright, my dad, Enriquez Wright, my brother, Kemar Wright, my other brother, Demar Wright, my sister, Tisha Wright, my neighbor, Melissa Joseph, my aunt, Sudie Henry, and to the manager from the 4H floor, Miss Mantle, to the
like
4H Jamaica, to Art NSTA Trust, to all the other partners and sponsors who made this event and the program a success. A big thank you. You would not know the impact. Well, you know, because you are seeing the statistics of the business ventures that are taking off. But I just want to say a big thank you to the persons that I wouldn't have singled out individually. It doesn't mean that you're less important. I hold you near and dear to my heart, but it's just hard to remember everybody at once. Just know that you are very important, and I thank you. So if you are sharing and you're still sharing in my success, a big thank you again to you.
Anesta and Jonathan, no disrespect to the woman who is sitting right beside me, but I don't think I would have ever been able to do this with anybody else. Antonio is a real champ. Discipline, you hear about the doing of assignments and the bed and all that.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Yes, sir. Big up yourself, Mrs. Leslie.
Big up yourself, Mr. Leslie.
Wow. Beautiful end to a wonderful season. Here with us, Dr. Cedric Leslie and Mrs. Antonia Leslie, and also Mrs. Misha Gay Wright Bernard for our campus graduation, our final show for the season. Thank you so much for making it Campus Connection. Boy, it's the end of the show. Shania has joined us as we wrap up. Big up some people.
Shania.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Shania, we're up. Oh, okay. Because we don't have much time. All right, good.
How are you?
We're doing well. It's the last
How are
show.
you?
But so the thing
We're kind of sad, but we just have wearing a smile on our face,
Yeah.
This is our facade right now.
I mean, we'll soon be back. Just
yeah, man. As your quint is September, so we'll be here. Oh, Tisha is joining the party too.
All right.
All right. Tisha, say something quick. We only have 2 minutes.
Bless up for yourself and clock it in the summer.
Yeah. Clock it. Well, yeah, man, big up to our team. We're so very grateful for you. Dr. Nadine Blair, Jermaine Johnson, Nikki Angus, Shania Smith, Daniel Cox, and David Sutton, Eden Palmer, Ruth Lawrence, Camille Lawrence, Raquel Robertson. Thank you so much for making a Campus Connection for this season. We really do appreciate you. And we want you to know that we're looking forward to an even better season as the time draws nigh. And to you, our wonderful viewers, and all the guests all the guests who would have been a part of the show. Thank you so much for making it Campus Connection. Our listeners, you sit down beside the radio, you're driving, you're listening to us, boy. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. All our sponsors, we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much for making it Campus Connection this evening and the entire season. Everybody, big up on yourself. Thank you so much. That's it for our show this week and this season. See you in September as we explore all things Wagwan Pan Campus. I am Jonathan Fletcher. Everybody have to say them name now, you know.
We'll see you in
Everybody say them name.
September.
Yeah. Tisha.
Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Auntie Tisha. Yeah, man. All right. Enjoy the summer. Go to the beach.
Here to the Family Radio Broadcasting from Kingston, Jamaica. We're Love 101 FM. The time is now 6:30 p.m. It's time